My wife is actually doing FaceTime right now while I'm doing a YouTube video. She's showing one of our friends from Texas uh, around our apartment, which is really cool. It's really cool to connect to people all over the world right now. So I want to talk about two things. The first thing is called The Big Milk. So my friend on Twitch has a new Twitch channel called The Big Milk. He plays video games, and that's such a big thing to watch other people play video games. And one thing that's also really, it's related to this, but like another thing is like the concept of being like personal, like the concept of being like authentic and genuine is really appealing to younger generations. Like, I like this because it's more personal. I feel like I know that person and I grow up with them and all kind of stuff. So I think that's also the component of like Twitch and watching people play video games. It's like I watch my friends play video games and all craziness, and I guess it becomes about a little bit about the video games and all the tips, but it also becomes about the personality, which I think is drives a lot of online content is the personality, like even like podcasts and stuff. It's a relationship between people. It's the personality of the person doing it. That's what becomes the sellability. And as long as you feel they're authentic and genuine, that's a lot of sellability of it as well. Which is so odd. When I lived in West Hollywood, we lived down the street from this one YouTuber who was super famous at the time. I think his name was Logan Paul. I'm pretty sure because he got in trouble for going to the suicide force in Japan and taking videos of someone who actually had committed suicide. But he lived just down the road from us. And one thing that was so there's so many things that are so odd about that. First of all, I think he's kind of negative. Like I think I see some of the stuff he does, and like he climbed to the top of a news van, and it's very like attention getting and grandiose and negative and destructive. And then you're setting this example for other people. Like this is how you get big: is you be the exception, and then in a society where everyone feels like they're the exception, you have no collaboration at all, right? So that's why I'm not a big fan. But I'm telling you, every single time I walk by his place, there were at least 3 or 4 people at least out front of his place. I'm talking like almost any time of day. Almost any time of day. There were 3 or 4 people outside his place, at least trying to catch a glimpse of him, trying to get him on YouTube and everything like that. So I used to work for a local government. In that local government, there were a lot of celebrities that lived in that city, and so we heard a lot of issues of like neighbors would complain that their neighbor who was famous or a YouTuber or whatever would have fans being trying to break in. So like they would, since it's an apartment complex or a condominium or whatever, you're like irritating your neighbors with your own fandom, which is really odd. We had Johnny Depp live in our city, and he had a condo on top in a building, and then they built another condo that blocked his view of the Hollywood Hills. And by doing so, he tried to sue the other developers, but views are not a protected right. Views are not protected because you can't. No one owns a view. A view is like it's not like a certain number of feet. It's like a fan that shapes out, especially since it was the view of the Hollywood Hills, which is this massive mountainside. So very strange. But my friend, the Big Milk, is part of that, like that culture of like the online personality, the online, like, oh, that's my buddy. And honestly, he's a friend of mine and he's really cool. So I want to give a shout out because he's also helping me, which leads me segues me into my second point. That was me in a segue. I've been on a Segway tour in Auckland, New Zealand. It was really fun. It's really weird because you have to get the balance part of it at first, but then it's really fun because you end up being able to take a larger tour than you would have walking, which I love walking tours. I love walking tours. I love ghost walking tours. I should do a video on that because that's one of my favorite things. But anyways, the Big Milk helping me because I have some ideas for some videos and content I want to produce online. If you ever get a chance, go to the Improv Boost because I might be pumping that up a little bit more over the next couple of weeks. But he's helping me some of the technology. So I'm learning this technology. He showed me around, and it's making me. And I asked him like, "How did you learn how to do this?" And the Big Milk goes, I think I just downloaded it and I just played with it until I kind of figured it out. He said I didn't have the patience to look on YouTube videos, which is typically what I do. I usually look on YouTube videos or Google something. He's like, I didn't have the patience to look on YouTube videos. I didn't have the patience to Google that stuff. So I just kind of trial and error figured this out. That's how I worked on social media. I just trial and error figured it out. And so after years of figured it out, and now that I have some success, people come to me like, do you just pump this up? Can you just promote this? And I'm like, you do trial and error for years because all you're trying to do is take advantage of someone else's effort and time and focus into doing it so that you can immediately stand on the shoulders of giants, so to speak, social media giants. So it's so weird. So I respect that he gave me a lot of help on this, and helping me, and has continued to help me with this project. It's because we're friends, and also there's another project we're working on. We have a couple different things we're working on right now, but go check out the Big Milk. He's gonna be really cool. And the project we're working on that it's stupid excited. I'm stupid excited about it because it's nothing big, but it's gonna drop tomorrow, and so I'm not quite sure if he's gonna live stream it or if he's gonna record it and then promote it later. But I think he's gonna live stream it, and I am absolutely stupid with anticipation of doing it. And it's nothing, but it's fun. I think it's going to be fun. So that brings me to my second point because I got off my point about segues, right? My uncle Tommy made this mug, and it's wonderful. It's ergonomic. Look at that. It even has a little dip for your thumb, so you hold it like that. It has two dips on the side for if you hold your thumb like this, and this is shaped to use your mouth. And he wanted to make something that was like an ergonomic Stein with still looking organic. I love this mug. He passed away 6 years ago now. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that in some video. But anyways, so the Big Milk said I just kind of downloaded it and blah blah blah, and then he said now I'm doing something I really enjoy and I really like. And so on Twitch, he's building this community on Twitch, and it's gonna be big and he's gonna make money off of it, which is really interesting. And it made me think like that's kind of why I asked him to help me with this project, is because I have this idea for doing online content. I don't want to spoil the idea, but I haven't seen it. No one ever has ever done this before. But I thought I'm gonna try this idea. The software he's talking about is the best way to get from point A to point B in a very efficient manner. Let's say how I can do it, right? And I thought, wow, he and I are very similar in that vein. And then I've talked to other people that are very similar. And it's like, it's not that who else is similar is Matt Thomas, formerly of Spectacles Improv Engine in Fullerton. Same thing. He said the same thing. It's like, it's not that I'm passionate about that software. It's not that I'm passionate about software. I'm passionate about this idea. And in order for this idea to come to fruition, I have to self-teach. I have to be self-motivated. I have to research. I have to struggle. I have to fail. I have to do this to get to this end goal. And along that way, I'm going to learn a bunch of different things. But going to that end goal and being self-reliant and not waiting for someone else to cast me in a play, not waiting for someone else to grant me the ability or the stage time or the social media platform or the whatever, just going, here's where I want to end up. So I'm going to try to struggle to get there because that's happiness, contentment. That's what I'm looking for. That's my goal. And so you end up learning all these different things before you get there. And so, like, especially in these times, if there's something you like, if it's anything, if there's something you like or you want, or it's something that makes you happy, and I'll give you a couple examples. If you like oil painting, if you like playing the ukulele, like all those struggles to get there, like just do it. That thing that you like, that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, just do it. Just pursue it. And all these different skills and all these different networks and connections you'll make in getting there are probably equally as valuable as actually being there. I always say it's about the struggle. It's about the struggle in improv. It's not about the who wins. In improv, I always say the scene is not about winning. Short form games are not about winning. There's a reason why they're difficult. The audience wants to see you struggle because people relate to struggle and people don't relate to winning. Although everybody wants to win, everyone relates to wanting to win, everyone relates wanting to win, but people relate more with struggle and people relate more with failure than they actually do relate to easily succeeding. And that's not relatable and it's not as fun to watch, to be honest. Like every movie is about like the struggle. Mad Max Fury Road is about the struggle of Furiosa trying to get away, right? It's if the movie was like it was easy for her. Here's the drawback to that, or the counter to that, which I think is very interesting. And I watched it for the first time, Escape from Witch Mountain, the original version. I haven't seen the rock version. That's an exception. And if you watch that movie, it's a very strange story because the heroes never really have to struggle. And I think the entertainment value of it, first of all, it's not an amazing movie. It's not going to blow your socks up. It's not going to change the world. So I can't say it's a good example of storytelling. But I think the storytelling of that movie is what new ability do they have? The discovery of the characters becomes the journey, not literally what the character's doing, because the heroes are strange and they're never really struggle. They're never really at a loss, right? So that's the best. But my end all point is there something that brings you joy, or something that you think might bring you joy? Is pursue it, but don't obsess over it. Don't obsess over your failures or struggles and not getting there. Just take steps to try to get there, because sometimes those steps will teach you something in a different vein or a different thing you want to pursue. So that's my thing. First of all, big ups to the Big Milk. That's a great saying. And then if there's anything you want to pursue, just go for it. And especially at this time, don't look at the end goal as the ultimate. Look at, like, I'm going to enjoy this journey that I'm going to be on. I'm going to enjoy the adventures and every little milestone as we go there, right? If you want to plan an around the world trip, maybe you start looking, now you start researching the areas that you want to stop at. Now you start researching hotels. Now, and all those are little milestones to get there, so then eventually it can happen. You have this huge game plan already set up. Maybe one of the things you talk about is like, what is the vision? What is the goal? Like, if you want to play the ukulele, what is the goal? Do you want to play in a certain style? Do you want to play a certain song? Do you want to play in a certain performance? Like, what are your values or your visions for this success? Just purpose. So that's what I recommend you do. That's what I hope you do. And yeah, I realized it's tough. I was just having a conversation with my friends, Keith, and he was like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "There's times that I'm foggy. Like, I'm foggy a lot. Like, these things that used to take me like an hour take me a couple days, and I'll stretch it out. And there's times I really can't focus, and I think it's just the times we're in, and that's fine. I'm telling myself that's fine, and I'm going to tell you that's okay. That's totally fine. If you're looking a little bit of focus, maybe 10 minutes a day, or just if you're like not doing anything right now, you're just like, I'm going to go on the internet and search whatever. Just look towards hope. Look towards this vision. That's it. Adios.